2, 1, 2. Hello and welcome to the very first ever episode of the Music Coach Academy. I am your host, Mikey Maguire, and welcome. So, I have some notes here. I'm organised. I gave this podcast in Malarkey a go back in 2019. I set myself a challenge to do 100 podcasts in 100 days. And I can't remember exactly how far I got, but I got to around maybe 20 or 30 episodes. And then I realised that the episodes that I was creating were shite. Absolutely awful. And the reason was that I hadn't prepped at all. I'd set myself so many things to do as part of this challenge that I was squeezing every element of it in where I could. Squeezing the podcast in, squeezing the vlog in at the end of the day. And it was really just a box ticking exercise. And the content really showed. So this time I come prepared to bring the value. Saying that, I did just have to pause the recording to go and get some water. So that's a rookie podcaster mistake. Hopefully it's the last one we make. Okay, so let's hop into the actual content. Music Coach Academy. It's a program for producers, I think. We'll find this out as we launch it. Well, I'm going to give you a quick background on the Academy and what it is. And then I'm going to talk about all of the additional stuff that I'm going to do to kind of support it, such as this podcast and all of the free training content. So when I research music coaches, there isn't a lot that pops up there, especially not for electronic music artists. And what I see constantly, especially now during COVID, is so many DJs, so many producers, so many people that have plowed thousands of both euros or pounds and hours into their craft. They're not making any revenue from it, and it's becoming really unsustainable to actually do it as a career. And you see them kind of taking on a couple of clients on the side where they're teaching them production, or they're teaching them DJ skills, or they're teaching them career development, whatever it might be. And this is great for the scene, and it's also great for the artist. But one of the major struggle points that I see is that they're not getting enough clients, or they're not doing it in a way where it's not consuming all of their time. Because it's all very well and good taking on 10 or 20 new coaching clients, but if you're doing them all one-to-one between the sessions themselves and the admin and the follow-up and everything around it, it's going to swallow up all your time and you're not going to make any music. So that's an issue. Getting the clients is an issue. Most of these guys are in it for the love of music. They're producers, they're DJs, they're performers. They don't care about selling and marketing and growing. Not that they don't care, but it's not their first love. It's not their passion. It's not why they got in the game. And so they have a very good possible revenue stream there that they don't take maximum advantage of. There are some dedicated music coaches. I have been doing it since 2015 on the career development side. So we've been doing, conferences, boot camps, training programs, and I've been having great success with that. Damn it. I had hoped I wasn't going to have to edit anything in the first episode, but dogs barking isn't a good look, so we'll edit that out. I'm going to do these live, I think, from next week onwards. I'm going to do them, I'm going to do the first few recorded so that I can get comfortable with it, and then I'm going to do them live on Facebook and Instagram and all those good places after that. So, dogs locked up in the sitting room, all potential sound intruders out of the way. I'll continue. So yeah, I've been coaching artists since around 2015. And like, I started with boot camps where artists flew into Ireland, and we would sort of get a big Airbnb and we would do them together and work together for a couple of months. And then we did them with boot camps in Ibiza. Before COVID, we had boot camps over in New York, Sydney, Melbourne. We had a big conference in Fabric where we took over the 3 rooms. And then we do online training. And I have to say, like, aside from the business element and it being a great source of revenue, it's been one of the best parts of my life, because I have met so many great people just like me, dance music fans that are just lovers of the scene that we're into. I've met so many of them from so many different continents, and that has been actually the highlight. And also, you're bringing together lots of people like that. So it's not just the people that I meet, but the relationships that get forged in the groups, in the Facebook groups, and the boot camps, and seeing what they go on to do. That's actually some of the most the unexpected, most beautiful side of it. So there's just so many great elements to being a music coach. And I see so many guys that are doing, little bits on the side that if they really focused it and did it in a proper, structured way with a bit of coaching, that they could absolutely smash it and have it either as an amazing, dedicated business or a really profitable, enriching side hustle. And so that's the idea behind Music Coach Academy. Why am I setting it up now? Well, the first thing is, like I said, I'm at it 5 years. So I've been there. And I've made the mistakes, and trust me, I've made the mistakes. The first programs I did, the first time you do anything, it can be awful. And I executed well on the boot camps, but then everybody went off, and it was the training modules that we rolled out. I didn't have the confidence in my delivery, the content that I was making. I wasn't happy with it, and so you're worried about putting it out, and then it stalls. And in my case, I fluffed on rolling the content out on time because I wasn't happy with it. And when it did go out, I still, in retrospect, wasn't happy with it. And that's just one mistake out of many, many mistakes. And naturally, when you do anything with trial and error, you're going to find the mistakes. That's how you get better. And I'm at a point now where we're 6 years in, and I'm pretty sure I've got it down really good. I've got great systems in place, and I'm getting results consistently. I myself have invested in lots of coaching from people that do coaching programs, and I know what I'm talking about, and I really feel confident that I can take people who are at the point where I was 5 or 6 years ago, and I can teach them how to be a solid coach, how to make a solid income, and how to deliver results for their clients. So that's it. I mean, I've invested heavily in myself and in my students. So I can roll that forward. The other reason, aside from me being ready, is that I think a lot of other people will be ready for this in a COVID world. Artists are struggling right now. The DJs that I coach, I mean, to be honest, even before COVID, most of them were emerging artists that when they're trying to get on a lineup, they're struggling to even get paid for the gig anyway. A lot of times they're playing for free just to get themselves on the circuit and build up a bit of a name. So there's no income from that. They're releasing music, and I know there's going to be stories of people that have earned money from releases, but for every person that you can give me that is earning decent money from their releases, I can give you 300 that's earning fuck all from releasing their money. And so they were traditionally the two main money earners from DJing, your performances and your music. And those are gone now completely. And there are lots of artists that are literally spending a fortune on gear, spending a fortune on learning how to use the gear, spending a fortune on music, and then the time involved in getting good at it. And they're shit hot, but not making any money from it and struggling. And then you see them having to go off and do stuff outside music that they don't want to be doing, when really they've become an expert at this one thing that they love. And if they knew how to leverage it and teach it out, they could be making an income from it. So I think now in 2021, where dance music is, it's more important than ever that artists are able to sort of leverage their skills And it's beautiful because they're making revenue from it, but they're also sharing their skills with other people in the scene and sort of enriching the scene as well. So I think that's important. Some people are coaching, but like I said, not making what they could. And because of this, there's so much knowledge and creativity that's not being shared, that's being kept. Because a lot of artists will have imposter syndrome. They won't feel like they're expert enough. You quite often see that with creatives. They don't know how good they are, or who am I to teach you this? Whereas really, if you have something that you're good at and you're able to sort of convey that in a system to another person, well, then you are good enough to share it. Also, why now? Music as a career, it's a tough road to follow. I've just talked about how sales revenues for music can be low. Unless you're established, gig revenues can be low. Then the outgoings aren't low. The outgoings are high. Traveling, touring, going to conferences, like it's a money drain. It's quite often just a really expensive hobby that makes people not a lot of money. And so the barrier to entry as an artist these days is really low. You can just download some software and get going. But the barrier to actually doing it as a full-time career and making a living is really, really high. I mean, it might be okay if you're in your younger 20s, but what about like DJs my age who are 37 and might have a wife and kids and a house, and you're going to try and earn that just off your artist career? You're going to want to be a really established DJ to be able to do that. And it shouldn't be like that. So music coaching is just one way to build a side business where you can stay in the studio, you can stay in dance music. I don't know why dance music is in inverted commas, but and make revenue. So there needs to be other options, and this is one of those. Another reason why now, I personally am obsessed with marketing. I know a lot of people look at sales and marketing as, the corporates, the man, sort of the anti-creativity. So you have creativity over here, and then you have sales and marketing, which is the money side on the other side. And they don't see it as the creative side, but I see it as super creative. And when you do your marketing in a creative way, it's fun, it works, and it really fuels your career on. So if you're obsessed in music and you want to coach, usually the only thing that's stopping you is a lack of clients. So if you're somebody that's a producer, you have all the gear, you've spent your hours in the studio, you have the knowledge, the only thing that's stopping you is people sitting down beside you paying for your knowledge. I'm obsessed with sales and marketing strategies. I love them. Producers don't. So I'm ready to share that. I really want to share that. Music coaches, they don't need to learn everything. They don't need to learn every strategy under the sun. They just need to learn the few strategies that work and then repeat them consistently. So as part of Music Coach Academy, I've taken these strategies, the ones that have worked for me, that we've boiled down over 6 years, and I've implemented them into Music Coach Academy. And so my plan, my mission is, we're on the 27th of April when I'm recording this. And what I want to do is by December 31st, 2022 or 2022, as it should properly be called, by December 31st, 2022, from now, I want to create 100 six-figure music coaches. That might seem like a lot, but to be a music coach earning 6 figures, you only need to be earning around $8,000 a month. The aim of the Music Coach program was to get you in and get you earning 10k a month as quickly as possible. If you're earning 10k a month, you're a 6-figure coach. Now, that is easier to do than you would think. If you've got the skills and you've got the program set up right and you've got your marketing set up right, that's easy to do. And I am more than confident that I can take 100, either guys that are already coaching a little bit on the side, or guys that just know their production and their skills inside out but aren't coaching at all but would like to. I'm confident I can take 100 of those and turn them into six-figure coaches by not this December, by the following December. So I've got 20 months to do it. So we get cracking in about 4 weeks' time. If you're interested in learning about Music Coach Academy, or you think it might be for you, pop me a DM and let's chat. Okay? But aside from that, I'm going to be dropping free training on this podcast. I'm going to be dropping coaching strategies on a weekly basis here on the podcast as well. So subscribe to the podcast, either on Apple or on Spotify. We're also going to be live streaming them on my own socials. Moogwire on Facebook and Mikey Moogwire on Instagram. I'll be live streaming them on there as well. I kind of procrastinated on doing this episode for ages. I've meant to do this for about 2 weeks. It's one of those things, the first one is the hardest one to do. So I just said sit down and knock it out. It's been quite enjoyable for me. This is a journey that I'm super excited to get on, because it's one of those ones where we can take a group of people in and give everybody the same measurable result. And I'm confident that people with the right skills, if they come in and engage with it, either in the Music Coach Academy program or just by listening to these podcasts and picking up the tips and the tricks and applying them in your own music coaching business, that we can get you to 10K a month easily. Not easily, simply. It's a simple process, but you got to work hard at it. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the next episode of Music Coach Academy, the podcast. Cheers. See ya. Bye-bye.